Hey guys. So I'm not at home right now, as you can probably tell. I'm actually at school. And this is Mr. Murphy's room. I've told you about Mr. Murphy a couple of times. Told you about some of the stuff he's given me. And I'm going to show you some stuff that I do here and what he's got here. I don't think there's anything in this room that I'm not interested in. It's physics and chemistry and electronics and programming. And stuff like that. What you're looking at right here is my attempted Tesla coil. I found me a coil that was down in a cupboard down there with a whole whack of other really cool stuff. I don't know how many windings it has, but it's got a lot. And I've got the 3 windings down here, and I've got the 1 terminal of it hooked up to this 2N2222A transistor here, and this should be the output of the Tesla coil. However, it does not work. If you notice what I'm powering with, this is an Arduino Uno R3. Well, a ripoff of one. It's made by Smraza and not Arduino, and it's black and not blue. But yeah, and sadly it did not work. The little transistor right there got super hot, and there was nothing coming out of here. Didn't make a fluorescent light up, and didn't give any shocks. Nothing. It just did not work. Don't know why, but whatever. So yeah, I do a lot of things with the Arduino. I often take my components box here, because there are parts in there that the Arduino doesn't have. Here's the Arduino kit. It looks much like the components box. It's got a section for wires up here. Frick. And all your components and stuff down here. So your components and stuff go onto these. This is a little breadboard power supply. You plug in an adapter or a USB into there. I've got an adapter here. This is one of my 9-volt ones. One of mine. I brought a lot of my stuff here. And you plug that in, you turn it on, and yeah. So you've got a whole whack of pins of different voltages. 5 volts, 3.3 volts, and grounds. And yeah. You attach those pins into these power rails of the breadboard. Like that. But yeah, I've made a few projects with this, like a thing that controls the stepper motor in there, and a thing that controls the servo motor in there. And I want to make a temperature sensor. Haven't done that before. I've made an infrared sensor, tone generator, 4-bit binary counter, and an RGB adjuster, and yeah. So all the parts like that little power supply go onto these pieces of styrofoam to protect the terminals, such as this distance sensor here. The terminals are jammed in there, and this color sensor here. Terminals are jammed in. One of the things we got that I tried to use, it didn't work no matter what I did, is an LCD screen. I really wanted to make a YouTube intro with this. I couldn't. It wouldn't work. LEDs. Got a few different colors in there. I threw a diffuser in there as well. And yeah, a joystick, 7-segment displays, and yeah, a whole whack of resistors too. So that's the Arduino ping pong ball collector 2.0 robot, and we're doing Lego robotics, and this robot goes around this table here and picks up these 8 ping pong balls. And there we go. It goes around, collects all the ping pong balls and goes right back to the start. So how this thing works is there's this door here, which blocks off the entrance, or blocks off the front. So it can pick up ping pong balls, or it can hold them in. And the color sensors over on the sides here don't do anything. They're just lights that flash. And just in case something goes wrong while it's going, emergency stop button. So you can just give the top of it a slap and it stops instantly. And yeah, we've got the two motors on the sides here that move these up and down. You can see them in there. We've got little black pieces to stop it from going more than that or more than that. We've got our two wheels back here and the ball and the brick on top. Yeah, I'll show you some slow-mo footage of this thing. Now we'll go over to the power supplies area, over there. We are now in the power area. So this is full of power supplies and little motors and electromagnets and stuff. This is supposed to be an alternator, hand crank alternator, but it does not work. You're supposed to take this thing, move this, and hook up a power source to these, and it'll create AC, or these ones, and it'll create DC. And there's an electromagnet up here instead of a permanent, so you gotta power that in order for it to work. That's probably the reason that we can't use it in the first place. And over here, there's a bunch of power supplies. So we got high voltage, low voltage, and a mix of the two. And this is my phone holder. I made out of Lego. So we've got 5 volts DC, 3 amps. You can adjust whether it's 0 to 5 volts analog. And then we got high voltage DC. And 8 volts DC, ground, 6 volts AC, and your on-off switch. And this is our low voltage one. It goes from 0 to 11 volts. No. Well, yeah, 0 to 11 volts on AC, but 0 to 6 volts on DC. We got our adjuster. And then the high voltage one here, this goes from 0 to 300 volts. And yeah, those are the power supplies. There is another little alternator thing here, but it actually works. This one. All this stuff is many decades old. Many decades old. And we got a multimeter here. We turn out on AC. This thing doesn't work too well with this thing, as it's probably meant for testing 60 hertz AC, when this thing generates the amount of hertz at the rate that it's spinning. So it's not the most accurate, but it works. You can go up to like 60 volts. So it makes a lot of volts for just a little hand crank generator. And yeah. And we've got this DC motor here. Move. It doesn't work. Well, it does work, but these magnets are worn out all to frick. This does have an electromagnet on it, so you can power that and it'll hopefully work, but we haven't got that to work yet. Turn that off. There we go. And we've got another little motor here. This one could be AC and DC. Frick. Got some propellers for that for this motor. So we got our permanent magnet up here. And man, this thing goes fast when you give it hundreds of volts. Anyway, I'm gonna hook up these little alligator wires to this high voltage power supply and to this motor. Now, is this plugged in? Yes, it is. Why do we get nothing? Ah, there we go. Yeah, she's pretty fast. Now I'm gonna put a propeller on it. It blows an okay amount of air. You probably noticed that this little permanent magnet up here isn't positioned quite in where it's supposed to. I have it all the way up here. It should be down there. But I noticed the motor actually goes faster when it's up here. Yeah, that's that. And that's pretty much the electronics area. We've got a few big old electromagnets here, but these power supplies aren't quite enough amps for these magnets. I don't got much time left. Only 5 minutes until lunch ends. But over here, we have this baby. That is a tube radio. It might be a little difficult to get this out with one hand. Hold on a minute. We got it out. By the way, this is all the Lego right here. That's the ball collector. That's still on for some reason. And I don't see it. Not sure. Oh, it's over there. That's a dragster that I'm working on. So yeah, we got this radio right here. It's an old tube radio made by Sparton. I've got the schematic for it on the Chromebook. And if we pull this out, we can see all of its tubes and stuff. It's really cool. It doesn't work because there's some broken wires down under here. As you can see, that capacitor is not supposed to be hanging out like that. And yeah, so we got a lot of capacitors, a lot of wires, a lot of resistors. Check out these freaking resistors, man. A transformer and potentiometer for the volume, and our knob for the tuner, which doesn't work, so you gotta move the variable capacitor by yourself. Got our big old speaker. And yeah, so this is your tuning. You got your vacuum tubes. And yeah, the top of these glows red hot when you turn them on. That's pretty freaking cool. And we got our tuning down here, which again doesn't work because the string here is way too loose. You hook up an antenna to here. And yeah, let's take a look at these little vacuum tubes here. Westinghouse radio tube. Interesting. Is that removable? It's wiggling around like you can take it off. It probably is. You're probably able to replace it. Yeah, the aluminum in here is oxidized Alta frick. It's covered in it. But yeah, when you turn it on, it doesn't play anything no matter what the tuning is, and it doesn't change the volume no matter what the volume's at. And you turn it on, and it takes a while. It sits there silent for a bit, and then, oh my god, and then it starts... and it just doesn't do anything else. Stay in, capacitor. Thank you. And yeah, that's that. This is the model 5048. There we go. And yeah, so that's Mr. Murphy's room. This is the stuff I do. And yeah, by the way, this is the dragster. I always like using color sensors as lights. We got the motorized wheel at the front, not motorized at the back. Start button, you press that and you walk away and it goes. The reason this is, I'm trying to make this go as straight and as fast as possible. It actually has a pretty good speed for a Lego robot. And there's the bell telling me that lunch is over. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.